like video title is called, I'm finishing the first contract, and like the description says, I'll also be working on getting sheep. And if you saw the first video, you know how I'm gonna start getting sheep on day one. I won't repeat it for those who have already seen it. If you haven't seen the first video, go back and have a watch. So, we're probably 50% done. We are 20% done. Oh joy. Well, we're gonna get a lot more than 4 bales off of this. And that's gonna be fun, cause that's all I could take. I mean, I could lease the in-game bale trailer, turn this into a front loader. Or yeah. Let's just fix one thing here. Where's my controller? Go in here. Sell off the Bandit. $52,000. Alright, so I'll show ya. Did I put a bale trailer in? No, I did not. And I'll show you how this works. Or at least how I got it to work. I'll lease it. And why not? Since I have $50,000, I'll buy this one, customize it to dark green, put Michelin tires on it, and design color, I'll change color, and buy it for $28,550. And I know we're gonna get sheep on the first day, even because I'll get the money for this contract, and I'll get money from the harvest in my field. Oh, nice. This is gonna be so good. And also the bale trailer will come in handy for hauling the pallets of wool away. Alright, third pass, we can start going up and down now. And if I have the money, obviously I'm gonna now switch this tractor over to a front loader. And if I still have enough money, I'll put wide tires on for the T6 to have a better stance. And that's how I turn around without messing up the previous windrows. Because sometimes if you just lift the tether, it'll catch the windrow you did before and just mess it up. And I'm just thinking of this now. I will even do realistic farming by putting crop destruction on. I mean, for grass it doesn't matter, because in FS19 you can't destroy the grass anymore. In FS17, when you had the crop destruction mod, it would knock your fully grown grass back one stage, which in reality, that doesn't happen. I remember when we had our farm, we would use the open fields as shortcuts to get to other fields. Well, we only had 2 meadows, and we only used one. Well, we didn't really use meadows as shortcuts. My dad did one time. He was spraying, and he pulled the fully loaded sprayer right through the meadow, and in a low-lying area. The tractor didn't get stuck. He could have simply unhooked the sprayer and drove the tractor out. But the sprayer weighed more than the tractor did. So yeah, he got stuck. And then we went out with at the time I was cutting my neighbor's grass, and he came back, got me. I left the riding mower right where it was. And, well, luckily the neighbor we had was my uncle. And then we walked over to the main farmyard, got our 1950s International front loader out with a 100-foot long chain. And yes, that chain was needed. It wasn't overkill. We wanted the International to be well away from where the tractor was stuck. And we were pulling for about 20 to 30 minutes. At first, my dad had me on the front loader pulling, and then after it wasn't working, he got me on the tractor that was stuck, and he was on the loader pulling, and that wasn't a good idea because I just made it worse. He would start pulling, I would just sit there letting the tractor dig deeper, and eventually I grounded out the tractor. I bottomed out the tractor. And that was even more fun. My dad had to sit there, try rocking the stuck tractor back and forth, trying to get it up higher. We eventually did get it out. If any of you guys are into country songs. And yes, the song is based on a true story. It disclaims it right before the video starts. The truck got stuck. Luckily, we didn't have the truck stuck. We just had a tractor stuck. But listening to that video and watching it, I just keep thinking back to how we had the sprayer stuck. There was even one time my neon blew a spark plug out of the piston, and rather than paying a buttload of money, like $2,000, I think it was estimated at, to drill out the piston and put a new spark plug in, basically re-thread where the spark plug sits. We figured it was just easier to buy another car, so we were looking for a car. A 98 Neon, Plymouth Neon it happened to, and I ended up buying another Plymouth Neon, 99 Plymouth Neon. Same color, it looked completely identical. It was the same color, it was an automatic. What else? It had manual locks, manual windows. It looked completely identical. And so we decided to keep the 98 around just as a parts car. Well, about 2 years after I purchased the car, one, I no longer had reverse in the car, because I believe in the Carfax report, well, I don't believe, this is what the Carfax said, but I believe this is what caused the problem. It had one accident with front end damage. Never said what was damaged, just said accident, front end damage. And it was a female that was the previous driver. And I keep saying and. Yeah, so I no longer had reverse. And one time my friend and I were driving around. I let my friend drive the car. I no longer talk to him for this reason. It was also partially my fault. We were in a 50-kilometer-hour speed zone, 30-mile-per-hour speed zone. And as he took the corner, I yelled out, "Give her." So he sped up even more. Went to make a left-hand turn, overshot the intersection a lot, and parked it in the ditch after the rear passenger door didn't clip, hit, full on hit the rear passenger door. That, oh, I was not happy. And I pulled out my phone right away, called the tow truck company I had a membership with, CAA, and they came to pull my car out. And on the phone, the woman asked what end of the car is in the ditch. Yeah. I stood there and went, the whole thing. She laughed a little and said, "Oh my, this is not a good night for you, is it?" I laughed too and went, no, it's not. She asked if there was any damage. I quickly went around the car, moving the grass out of the way, and I said, no, not realizing what had happened. She goes, "All right, we'll send a tow truck out." Well, moments after I hung up, also this happened right near a subdivision, so there was witnesses as to what happened. I hear sirens, and lo and behold, a cop car pulls up, and he said, "What happened here?" And I was calm. I wasn't, and I said, "Well, officer," and probably because I was giving also compass directions, I said I was going northbound down this road, went to make a turn to go westbound, and he puts his hand up and goes, "I don't want to hear anymore. You've been drinking." Which, he wasn't lying. My friend and I both were. Only my friend who was driving took off, and I still had the keys in my hands. He said, "I've been drinking." I just stood there and went, "All right." In my head, I said, "That's your opinion." I know better than to talk back to police. That only gets you in more trouble. And so, yeah, that car was a write-off, because it also bent the rocker panel. So I then had two neons sitting around. The first one, the 98, we had towed off to a friend of my parents, because he had a farm. He had a place to store it. So there it's at. And this is still going on in the story. The truck got stuck. The tow truck backed it up to the spot we said to set it down. It had no problem. By then, this was spring. He had no problem driving on the grass and getting the car to where we wanted it dropped. The problem came when he left. The tow truck got stuck. So my friend's dad went over to the barn, got a tractor, tried pulling, no go. The tow truck just would not move. So then he went back off to the barn and got a second tractor. Both tractors pulling. My friend's dad driving, my friend's dad using the one tractor, my dad using the second tractor. And still, the tow truck would not move. What ended up getting the tow truck out, ironically, was another tow truck. He had a buddy that lived about 10 kilometers, 10-15 kilometers from where he was, and one tow truck to pull it out. I just sat there in my head laughing. Of course, one time when I had my car towed about 40 kilometers, after I got home, I then called the company back up and filed a complaint because the tow truck driver put my car on the back of his tow truck, and I've had my car towed before. I've seen these guys work and what they do. They put your car on the hoist, and then they chain down. They put a chain hook from their tow truck to whatever's solid enough on your car. Well, this guy didn't put any tow hooks in. And I asked him, don't you have to hook the chains up to it? And the driver goes, no, that's just for pulling. I thought in my head, I'm like, all right. Well, we get going down the highway and going over a long bridge. It was not rough, but there were a couple bumps. And I just sat there in the passenger seat of the tow truck looking out the side mirror, and I see my car come off the hoist. And luckily there was nobody for a while behind us. The tow truck driver quickly stopped, backed up, hooked up to my car again, and only this time went slower driving. He actually went the speed limit. Still no hooks. And the damage to my car was a lot more than what I originally called them to tow it for. Luckily, for any cars that were behind us, my battery still worked, so I left my four-ways on. But I was not happy one little bit. So, it's so much easier to talk when I have somebody watching the video, because then I could interact with them. But yeah, we'll get this all bailed up. And I know how I'm going to take this corner now. Just come in like that. Flip around. Still 20% done. Oh dear. I don't think we're gonna see much progress until we get these bales loaded up and sold off. And any extra bales we have, I'm gonna keep. Now where do I have to take these? Okay. Just down the road up there. So that's easy enough. And you guys will get to see my stacking skills. Only thing I don't like about round bales is you can't unload on the go. Well, you can. You just won't pick up anything until the bale door is closed. But I'm doing pretty good at this. Only 11:30 in the morning where I am. So yeah, I'll do the baling, have lunch, and then start up the third episode. Or no, I won't do a third video until this contract is completed. And I think from now on, when I do contracts, I'll just record the last little bit of it and then go on with working on my farm. Because this has already been over an hour and a half. Well, actually, no, an hour and a half exactly. But that's not bad. This size field, it took 1 hour to mow it, ted it, and windrow it. Yeah, I was just looking at my computer screen, rethinking the video I was watching, and young people, they should have an age, a certain age where you could buy, someone will get that phone, where you can buy a high-powered car. Because basically a sports car, or I don't know what other people call them. Cars like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, supercars is what some people call them, because they're super fast. The title of the video I was watching is Caught on Camera, Awful 140 mile per hour Camaro wreck. Hold on. Caught on camera. Awful 400 mile. Darn it. Caught on camera. Awful 140 mile per hour Camaro wreck. Kills 3, injuries several. Houston. So this is in Houston, Texas. And the clip starts with the Camaro just flying by at a ridiculous speed, 140 miles per hour. And if you watch carefully, you could see just before he crashes, he clips the curb and wrecks. Now, why is somebody that young driving a car that expensive? I mean, okay, maybe it was his parents' car, but I had a couple races back in my day, but I don't do that no more. I had too many close calls. And what was I getting at? Yeah. What it should be when you get caught street racing is just read the comment I put down here. Sentence. First, 10 years in jail. So you're 20 years old, you don't get out till you're 30. And this is not saying what it should be for every, or no, it could be. Second offense is police seize your vehicle and you pay to get it out. Third, and this is the biggest I would want to see, you lose your vehicle for good. No chance of driving again. So basically they cut up your license right in front of you. Alright, was anyone counting how many bales I've made off this field? I wasn't counting. When I get back to... or will it? No. Created bales does not count when you're doing a contract. But there's more than this trailer can hold. And there's still a bit of hay down at the other end of the field. Wow. Alright, so I'll just drive through here and count how many bales I've made up. Let's see, there's two right there. Ooh, let's see if I can get one more out of the leftover hay that I missed. Come on, just a bit more hay. Oh, there's hay up here, but oh, come on. 10% more. Nope. Oh. Oh well. I have 90% of a bale made up for my field now. So, I will not leave you just yet. I'm going to take this back to the main farm, switch this tractor over to a front loader, possibly with wide tires. Hopefully buy the front loader arm and bale fork. Bring the bale trailer up there, and then I'll leave you. Like I said, whenever you watch my videos, I have you for an hour. You are all mine. And don't think of closing out your closing out of YouTube while you're watching this video. So for grass / hay work, all I own is the mower and the baler. I want to work up to owning everything else. The tedder, the mower, the bale trailer. Actually, I just thought of this, what I could have done. I'll do this next time once the baler's empty. What I'll do is I'll sell off the round baler. And like you guys saw, I have the John Deere baler. I'll start using that one. Alright, so let's disconnect our front weight. Set it down right there. Drive around over to here, where our shop is. Shut the engine off. Nah, I won't repair it just yet. I was thinking of it. So, yes, I want the front loader. And yeah, I could go wheel weights. Yay! Or wheel weights, wide tires. Now, go into here, get this one, New Holland Blue. Get this one, New Holland Blue. Yeah, just reset everything. There, everything has been reset. Alright, that goes to show you how full my respawn area is. Oh, I gotta go to the washroom. I like where the bale fork got reset to. And for the horsepower of this tractor and the weight of this trailer, you may have noticed I bumped down my cruise control. I'm gonna do this more realistically. Because with a trailer this size and a tractor with this much horsepower, you wouldn't go flying down the road at top speed. So yeah, I'll let you go after I get back up to the contract field in 85. I mean, I'm not going much slower. Let's see, top speed of this tractor is 32, I believe. So 12 miles an hour less. And yep, I have my beacons on. Oh dear, I'm off-road. And my crash count is only at 1. After driving around for just about 2 hours. I remember there was one video I made last year or at the beginning of this year. In about 40 minutes, I hit something 3 times. I averaged 10 minutes between every crash. Seriously, I'm a good driver. I've only had 1, 2, 3 accidents. 4 accidents. And how many were my fault? I would say 1, 2, 3. I know I said I'd have you guys for an hour, but I really gotta go to the washroom. But here, I'll show you what I do here. So I hold R1 and nope, L1. Spread it out. Open it up. And then when you have it loaded, you press X again with R1 and then just leave it. You don't want to close it back up. But I'll let you go now, guys. Catch you on the next one and be safe.